So, as a kind of put your money where your mouth is demonstration of what I was talking about with sampling, with feeding a sample in and chopping it all up and playing all the little constituent parts, I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you how that kind of thing can be done the easy way, anyway, which, again, this isn't what I do. I'll take an entire piece of music and I'll put it into Reason and I'll get it on beat and I'll select my own little chop points and go in and rearrange it, pitch shift stuff, stretch stuff out, rearrange stuff, fix stuff, make it do what I want it to do, and then generally I'll make sure that it all flows very smoothly so it sounds like that's what the band was doing in the first place and I just found the sample. So my samples don't generally stand out very much, but I'll show you how you can make them stand out. Now I'm doing this all live, so forgive me if this gets a little bouncy and nauseating. Let me alright, so first things first, open up Reason, which is a digital audio workshop workspace, which is all of the hard way that I ever learned distilled down into the easy way, or an easier way. But, you know, I wouldn't trade it for anything, all the experience I learned doing it the hard way and then applying it to this. It's like what I've talked about many times, where you just learn what not to do anymore. You learn, you make those mistakes, the first 20 steps are mistakes. So after a while, you don't do those anymore. You start in on step 21. You don't make those mistakes to begin with. So open an empty file. Then in Reason, you open something called Serato Sample, which again isn't something I use. It's just Bill gave it to me. It's a really cool demonstration of what samplers can do now, which is just a modern version of what samplers were always able to do. Open a Serato Sample, and it says right here, load audio file or drag and drop file on this screen. So I'll do that. I'll go to iTunes, and what did we say? Curtis Mayfield. So there. Drag, drop, loads the whole sample in. There's the waveform. Now here's the difficult step. Here's the part that you should pay attention to, because you can get it wrong really, really easily. You take the mouse and you click the button called Find Samples, and it finds your samples for you. What that means is it has analyzed the whole file, the tempo, and picked out all the loud bits, basically basses, snares, different sounds. It figures this is a chop point. So now that it's in there, I'll bring you over here. Put you down. Oop. Yeah, probably good enough. Okay, so move the Elvis glasses. This here is MIDI pad. I generally don't do this. I usually use the keyboard because that's how I learned. My first sampler was a Yamaha VSS 100, where you could put a sample in and chop it up into 4 parts. So generally what I did was, bass, snare, hi-hat, crash cymbal, or sound effect, or something like that. I did a lot like that. On this, it has chopped everything up and assigned it to all these pads. So a lot of stuff. So that's bass, that's a snare, so you can do very, very easily. And people these days, they like putting in little snippets of vocal samples. So, little bits where he sings. play around with this all day until you find patterns that you like, and then record those patterns in. All that shit. So that's how it's done, or how it can be done. This is how it should be done. Hey man, production.